Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to give you a simple idea to silence your kettlebells. Silencing kettlebells is not always necessary, but it can be necessary for some people. These kettlebells here are the best kettlebells you can get. They are the pro competition kettlebells, but they are literally bells. They are steel with a big hollow void in the middle, and when they clack together, they sound like bells. And if you're doing long competition length sets or marathon sets, then you make a lot of noise. That's not a big deal if you're outside far away from people. It is a big deal if you're trying to do it in a busy gym. It is a big deal if you're trying to train at home. If you live in an apartment complex, then making a lot of noise will disturb your neighbors and get you in trouble. The point of kettlebells is that they have such a small footprint and they're so versatile that they allow you to train in extremely small spaces, and that saves you time and money on travel. But if you're making a lot of noise, every time you do that, and you're making 20 bell noises every minute for 10 minutes, that could be an issue. If you're training at home and you have a family, if you're training early in the morning before work, that could be an issue. You could wake up the whole house. These things are loud. Even if you're in another room, and even if you are in another side of the house, even if you're in the garage. I know. So the simple idea is that we are going to wrap a bell with one of these large fitness bands, giant fitness rubber bands. You can see these bells contact together right here below the face. So we are going to take this big band and try and put some layers of rubber right there. So that when they clack together, they make very little noise. We're trying to cover up that impact point on the bells so that when they slam together, you don't hear any more bell noise. The rubber dissipates the ringing, and that will work fine. One side is going to be high and one side is going to be low. When you catch the kettlebell, you want the one side where they contact to be covered, and you want the other side where it contacts your arm not to be covered by rubber. So think one side high and think the other side low. When you pick up the bells, the low side is on the outside of your hand. That means that when you catch, it's not going to be on your arm. And now they are super quiet. Same thing is true for our normal competition kettlebells. These are our Kettlebell Kings competition adjustable kettlebells, probably the best money on the market. And you can see on the bell where they contact each other. Both the bells have wear in the exact same spot. So you can do the same thing to these. Wrap them up. For me, with the bands that I'm using, these Living Fit bands, I'm going to try and get all that rubber covering up the wear in that paint. And I'm going to exit and I'm going to try and have them be all flat right there. Everywhere else they can tip. The side that my arm is on, I want to lower that way down. So now we have these competition bells, and these make a little bit of a dull noise because they're hollow and adjustable, but it is way, way, way quieter. These bands are available almost everywhere now. These ones are from Fitness Town in Canada. This one is from Living Fit. This one is from Living Fit. These Cosol ones from somewhere in Europe. It's only, I think, the label on them that is really different. Does this weight affect long-term sets? It can. It does feel a little bit different. But if you have two bands of the same size, you could band both bells and quiet both bells and make them back to being the exact same weight. But the difference between the weight of these two bands is very small. But if you were doing a very long set, you might notice. If you are doing any hand changes or setting it down, then switch the bells to the other side for the next set. This is just a very simple idea. Use your big fitness bands, wrap the bells, place the bell directly over the point where the kettlebells contact each other regularly. That's the wear spot in the paint. And on the side where your arm is going to be, Make sure there's no rubber in contact with your arm so that you don't end up with friction burns. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica. Simple idea, make your bells quieter so that you can train without disturbing everybody in your household.